Our tale begins above the clouds, in a place quite surreal. People flew in flying machines, in a city forged of steel. Within the city, an old man slept, watched over by his son. The old man was dying, for he was 101. There was one thing he wanted before he took his final breath. Only then would he be willing to enter the realm of death. Archimedes, my son, do me a favor. It's not much I want, just a bit of flavor.
Oh, father, what is your wish?
I request a fairy for my last dish. To Skyfolk, fairies were succulent and nutritious. Not to mention they found them awfully delicious. The problem about fairies is there remained only one.
An impossible task, father. It cannot be done.
You lie, my son. Don't be a coward. I'll not rest until a fairy is devoured. And so Archimedes set off on his mission. To find the lost fairy was his expedition. He soared across skies, but wasn't prepared, for the storm approaching had him quite scared. With a strike of lightning, his ship was on fire. Suddenly his situation was looking quite dire. The ship started to sink through a thick sea of fog until it crashed land into a bog. From out of the wreckage Archimedes ascended. His expedition was temporarily suspended. He landed himself in a sorry plight, for the marshes were vast with no soul in sight. Then in a flash, he was pulled underground. He awoke in a cavern, strung up and bound. A variety of creatures were strung from the wall, but his attention was caught by a cage so small. Within was a creature so light and airy. Could this have been the last fairy? Just returned from an evening stroll, in trudged a monstrous troll.
Listen here, you low-life scum. I'm taking you to market to make a nice sum.
The troll threw its captives on the back of a wagon, Archimedes the fairy, and a baby dragon. They travelled for miles through marshes and woodland with no sign of stopping. The weather was foul, Archimedes was hungry, and his clothes were sopping. Then, with good fortune, the cart hit a stump. Out flew the contents with a crash and a bump.
Free at last!
Archimedes cried. He picked up the fairy with a sense of pride.
Now, dear fairy, we've not a moment to waste. You're a creature of rare and fine taste.
The fairy was primitive. It couldn't form speech. Instead, it let out an almighty screech. The sound was piercing. Archimedes fell to the ground. How could a creature so small make such a deafening sound?
Listen here, creature, I'll have silence from you. You should know that I'm hungry, and I fancy a stew.
Ahead was a rather quaint house in the clearing. Beside was a ship with automatic steering.
No one's around. The ship's for the taking.
Archimedes had become a thief in the making.
Settle down, fairy, and hold on tight.
Then off with a blast they soared through the night.
Father, I've done it! I've found the lost fairy, though my journey was hard and at times quite scary. How do you want it? Shall I serve it with bread?
Archimedes was too late, for his father was dead.
Fairy, be free. You're no longer my prisoner. You're too exquisite to be someone's dinner.
Your entire race ate my sisters and brothers. It's true. I'm the last one. There are no others. Primitive fool, of course I can speak. Humans are mindless, ignorant and weak. I have plans for you. It might make you squeal. You see, I think you'd make a decent meal.
And so she chained him against the wall, and slowly ate him with her mouth so small. She fed him, of course, to keep him alive, for her never-ending food source had to survive. And so our tale ends, terribly tragic. Not all fairies are pleasant and magic.